San Antonio Water System Standard Specifications for Construction. Item No. 824. Water Service Supply Lines. Service Relays. 824.1 Description: this item shall consist of water service supply lines service relays. Adjustment and installation in accordance with these specifications and as directed by the engineer. 824.2 Reference Standards. Reference standards cited in this specification. Item No. 824 refer to the current reference standard published at the time of the latest revision date. 1. San Antonio Water System, SAWS. A. Specifications for water and sanitary sewer construction. B. SAWS Materials Specifications. 2. City of San Antonio, COSA, Standard Specification for Construction. 3. Texas Commission of Environmental Quality, TCEQ. A. Chapter 290, Subchapter D, Rules and Regulations for Public Drinking Water. 4. American National Standards Institute, ANSI/American Water Works Association. AWWA. ANSI/AWWAC 105/A21.5 Polyethylene Encasement for Ductile Iron Pipe Systems. B. ANSI A21.11/AWWAC 111, Standard for Rubber Gasket Joints for Ductile Iron Pressure Pipe and Fittings. C. ANSI/AWWAC 150/A21.50 Thickness Design of Ductile Iron Pipe. D. ANSI/AWWAC 151/A21.51 Ductile Iron Pipe, Centrifugal Lee Cast. E. ANSI/AWWAC 500 Metal Seated Gate Valves for Water Supply Service. F. ANSI/AWWAC 515 Reduced Wall, Resilient Seated Gate Valves for Water Supply Service. G. ANSI/NSF Standard 61, Drinking Water System, Health Components. H. AWWAC 206, Standard for Field Welding of Steel Water Pipe. I. AWWAC 207, Standard for Steel Pipe Flanges for Waterworks Service, sizes 4 inches through 144 inches. J. ANSI/AWWAC 509 Resilient Seated Gate Valves for Water Supply Service. K. AWWAC 605, Underground Installation of Polyvinyl Chloride, PVC, Pressure Pipe and Fittings for Water. L. AWWAC 651 Disinfecting Water Mains. M. AWWAC 900, Polyvinyl Chloride, PVC, Pressure Pipe and Fabricated Fittings, 4 inches through 60 inches, 100 mm through 1500 m for water distribution. N. AWWAC 907, Polyvinyl Chloride, PVC, Pressure Fittings for Water 4 in through 8 in, 100 mm through 200 mm. O. AWWA Manual M27, External Corrosion, Introduction to Chemistry and Control. P. AWWA M28 Rehabilitation of Water Mains. Q. AWWA Manual M41 Ductile Iron Pipe and Fittings. 5. American Society for Testing and Materials, ASTM, International. ASTM A36, Standard Specification for Carbon Structural Steel. B. ASTM A536, Standard Specification for Ductile Iron Castings. C. ASTM A126, Standard Specification for Gray Iron Castings for Valves, Flanges, and D. Pipe Fittings. E. ASTM B21, Standard Specification for Naval Brass Rod, Bar, and Shapes. F. ASTM B98, Standard Specification for Copper Silicon Alloy Rod, Bar, and Shapes. G. ASTM B301, Standard Specification for Free-Cutting Copper Rod and Bar. H. ASTM B584, Standard Specification for Copper Alloy Sand Casting for General Application. I. ASTM E165, Standard Test Method for Liquid Penetrant Examination. JASTM E709, Standard Guide for Magnetic Particle Examination. KASTM F1674, Standard Test Method for Joint Restraint Products for use with PVC pipe. 6. International Organization of Standardization, ISO. A ISO 9001. 824.3 Submittals. All submittals shall be in accordance with most recent version of SAWS General Conditions Requirements. Submit the following for approval prior to performing any work. 1. Certifications. A. Per General Conditions Section 5.12.2 All contractor submittals for all pipe and other products or materials furnished under this specification shall be marked as reviewed and approved by contractor for compliance with contract documents and the referenced standards. B. The manufacturer shall provide ISO 9001 certificate by a third party. C. Submit written verification from the pipe manufacturer demonstrating compliance with the production and delivery schedule of the pipe as indicated in the contractor's schedule. D. Contractor shall submit manufacturer's product data, installation recommendations, shop drawings, and certifications. E. Shop drawings. F. Catalog data sheets for all materials confirming pipe, fittings, and other materials conform to requirements of this specification. G. Pipe supplier information. Submit company name, and contact number. H. Details of all piping systems components confirming that the pipe and fittings conform to the specified requirements. 824.4 Materials. The materials for water service supply lines installation and adjustment shall conform to the specifications contained within the latest revision of SAWS material. Specification Item NOS 21-10, Brass Gate Valves, 15-40, Brass Goods, 19-01 HDPE. Tubing and 100-30, Service Saddles, 10-30 Water Meter Boxes, 5/8, 3/4, 1-1-1/2, and 2 meters. 824.5 Construction. 1. General, service supply lines and fittings, meter boxes, and appurtenances shall conform to the material specifications and shall be installed by the contractor as specified herein, or as directed by the engineer and in accordance with the DD824 standard drawing series. A. All services shall be in line with meter box location. Any variance requires prior approval from SAWS inspector. B. Tracer wire shall be utilized for location and taped directly to the pipe. I. Tracer wire shall be properly spliced at each end connection and each service connection. 2. Tracer wire shall be adequately wrapped and protected at each splice location in accordance with manufacturer recommendations. 3. No bare tracer wire shall be accepted. 4. Wire shall also come up to the top of valve extensions and fire hydrant stems, as directed by the inspector. V. Tracer wire shall be utilized for location purposes and taped directly to the top of pipe. 6. Tracer wire shall be of solid core, 14 gauge insulated, and shall be taped to the main in minimum of 10-inch increments. 7. Detection tape cannot be used in lieu of tracer wire. 2. Service relays. A service relay is defined as a new material laid from the main to the inlet side of the existing meter. B. New distribution main, S, to which services are to be relayed, and are on the same side of the streets as the customer's meter, are defined as short relays. C. New distribution main, S, to which services are to be relayed, and are on the opposite side of the street from the customer's meter, are defined as long relays. 3. Tap holes. Tap holes are defined as excavations at existing mains, which are required in association with replacements of water service lines by pulling, boring or jacking operations. A. All backfill material shall be as specified for all associated main and service line trench excavation, as specified in specification item number 804 excavation, trenching, and backfill. B. For service lines and tap holes, payment for bedding, initial backfill and secondary backfill shall be included in the various sizes of each service placed. For service line installation, unless otherwise notified, Service relays shall be installed as described herein, and in the DD824 standard drawing series. A. Unless otherwise indicated, existing meter and meter box relocation shall be included in the service line installation. B. All service lines longer than 60 feet in length in concrete pavement in major thoroughfares crossings shall be installed in Schedule 80 PVC conduit. C. Cutting, excavation, backfill and replacement of pavement shall be done as specified herein and in accordance with applicable sections of the City of San Antonio Specification Item Number 511, Cutting and Replacing Pavements, Trench Repair, and Specification Item Number 804, Excavation, Trenching, and Backfill. D. The maximum trench width for small service lines shall be 8 inches, while the minimum trench width for large service lines shall be the nominal pipe diameter plus 16 inches, except when specified otherwise by the engineer. Trench shall be filled with flowable fill at NSPI. E. For 3/4 inch to 2 inch service lines, the minimum bury depth shall be 3 feet. F. For services greater than 2 inches, the minimum depth of bury shall be 4 feet. G. All service lines shall be installed in accordance with the DD824 standard drawing series, SAWS standard material specification item No. 100-30, with 2 strap service saddle clamps for all tap services. H. The contractor shall use precaution to protect and preserve the polyethylene wraparound ductile iron water mains when installing service saddles and service corporations. I. The required method is wrap pipe tape around the pipe, over the poly wrap, after the service saddle and service corporation has been installed. JHDPE shall have stiffness installed per manufacturer's recommendation. K. The tap shall be made through the tape and poly wrap. It is not necessary to remove and replace poly wrap. L. All exposed pipe, corporation, and the first 3 feet of the service, shall be wrapped and taped to achieve a complete seal. In addition, a sand envelope shall extend over and around the connection to a depth of 8 inches above the main. M. Small service lines shall be embedded in sand in accordance with specification item number 804, excavation, trenching and backfill. N. When approved by the inspector, the contractor may lay the new service line from the corporation stop to the curb stop or angle valve. O. Upon completion, the contractor shall isolate the new service line by closing the curb stop or angle valve until the meter box is set. 5. Splicing. A long service line single slice may be permitted only when approved in advance by the inspector, provided the location of the splice is not under pavement or concrete. A. The segment added is required to be the same material as the existing service line, unless otherwise directed by the inspector. B. Splicing short service lines will not be permitted. 6. Directional drilling. Service lines which cross paved streets may be installed at the contractor's option by boring or jacking operations at no additional cost to SAWS. PVC Schedule 80 shall be used for casing. 2 and 3. Sertati lock or steel pipe shall be used for larger casing 4 and up. 7. Tapping asbestos cement, AC, pipe, direct tapping will not be allowed. Service saddles must be used when tapping AC pipe. A. Drill tools shall be used for services less than 2 inches. B. Shell type drills shall be used for all services 2 inches and greater. C. The tapping of AC pipe must be done in accordance with manufacturer's recommendations and done only with tap machine having a built-in flush valve, and the flush valve must be opened during the entire procedure. 8. Abandonment of service lines. The contractor shall accomplish all cutting, capping, and plugging necessary to isolate new service lines transferred to new and existing mains from those abandoned, including service lines designated in the contract documents as tap plug. A. The corporation stop for an abandoned service line tapped on a ferrous main shall be removed, and the tap at the main shall be plugged with an appropriately sized brass plug. B. For a non-ferrous main, the corporation stop shall not be removed from the main. Instead, the corporation stop shall be closed and the flared nut shall be removed from the corporation stop. C. After the appropriately sized copper disc is inserted inside the flared nut, replace the flared nut on the corporation stop. 9. Tapping PVC, C900, pipe, Tapping of PVC pipe must be done in accordance with Unibel procedures. A direct tapping will not be allowed. All drill cutting tools must be the shell type with internal teeth or double slots which will retain the coupon. B. The shell cutters must be designed for C900 pipe, thus having sufficient root depth to handle the heavier walled pipe. 10 Small service lines. A. HDPE tubing shall be used for 3/4 inch through 2-inch service lines. B. Brass fittings for 3/4 inch and 1 inch service lines shall be of compression type for the use with HDPE tubing. C. Brass fittings for 1/2 inch and 2-inch lines shall be of compression type for use with HDPE tubing, except as modified in this specification. D. Tubing shall be cut squarely by using an approved cutting tool and by avoiding excessive pressure on the cutting wheels which might bend or flatten the pipe walls. E. Tubing shall be cut squarely and burred. F. Pipe adjacent to the fittings shall be straight for at least 10 inches. G. Bending of tubing shall be accomplished by using an appropriate sized bending tool. No kinks, dents, flats, or crimps will be permitted, and should such occur, the damaged section shall be replaced. H. When compression fittings are used, the copper tubing shall be cut squarely prior to insertion into the fitting. I. Final assembly shall be in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations. 11 Relaying service lines. The existing or new mains shown in the contract documents shall be exposed and opposite location stakes placed on site at the direction of the inspector. A. The existing or new main shall be drilled and tapped with an approved tapping machine, a new corporation stop installed, and the trench extended laterally to the location specified for the meter box. B. The existing meter shall be reset and the meter box and base shall be installed at its staked location and perpendicular to the corporation stop in the water main. C. The meter box location shall not vary more than 2 feet laterally from its existing location. D. Meter box is to be located within the row. E. The service line shall be installed with sufficient slack to compensate for soil movement. F. Where the location of the existing meter is not changed, the new service line shall be extended from the main to the existing meter, a new curb stop installed at the end of the service line, and connected to the inlet side of the meter. G. If disturbed, the existing meter box shall be reset to correct grade. H. Long service relays may be placed under the street pavement by boring or jacking rather than trenching. 12 Single service line, dual meters. The single service line, dual meter installation shall consist of a 1 service line reducing to 2 3/4 inch service lines at a T which shall be set in line with the front edge of meter boxes for 5/8 inch and 3/4 inch meters. Dual meters shall be for new development only. A single service line with dual meters shall be installed in those new residential developments where new 5/8 inch and 3/4 inch meters are required and in main replacement work, where it is necessary to change the location of existing 5/8 inch and 3/4 inch meters. B. Single service line, dual meter materials and installation requirements shall conform to requirements established herein. See DD 824 drawing series. C. No branching will be allowed on services that require pressure reducing valves, PRVs. 13 Small service lines on existing mains. The work involved in the installation of relaying service lines on existing mains shall consist of jacking, boring, tunneling, and open trench operations, all excavation through any material encountered, trench excavation protection, using the existing corporation when approved by the inspector, tapping the existing main and relaying the service line at the same grade as the existing service line or at the specified grade between the main and the existing meter and its tie-in at the corporation and the curb stop, disposal of surplus excavated material, capping the tap hole with asphalt-treated base including the outer limits of the main line trench and the service line trench, cutting and replacing all surfaces of all type encountered over the completed service line trench, restoration of the site. 14 Large service lines, ductile iron pipe, HDPE, and PVC fittings used for metered service lines and non-metered fire service lines larger than 2 inch shall be installed in accordance with the applicable provisions of specification item number 812, water main installation, except where otherwise approved by the engineer. Fire lines shall be ductile iron only. 15 large service lines on new mains. Work involved in the relaying of metered service lines and non-metered fire service lines shall consist of all excavation through all material encountered, trench excavation protection, installing tees, pipe and fittings of various sizes including main line and service line valves, valve boxes, ductile iron pipe, PVC, HDPE, fittings, in accordance with the associated DD824 drawing series, and reaction block, backfilling with approved selected material. Cutting and replacing pavements, curbing, and sidewalks of all types over the limits of the main line trench and the completed service line. Fire lines shall be ductile iron only. 16 large service lines on existing mains. The work involved in the relaying of the new metered service lines and non-metered fire service lines shall consist of all excavation through all material encountered, trench excavation protection, cutting in tees and installing tapping sleeves and valves, pipe, and fittings of various sizes including main line and service valves, valves boxes, ductile iron pipe, PVC, HDPE, fittings, and reaction block required, backfilling with approved selected material. Cutting and replacing pavements, curbing, and sidewalks of all types over the limits of the main line trench and the completed service line. Fire lines shall be ductile iron only. 824.6 Measurement. 1 relay short service will be measured by the unit of the various types and sizes of each service line relayed. 2 relay long service will be measured by the unit of the various types and sizes of each service line relayed. 824.7 Payment. 1 payment for a relay short service will be made at the unit of the various types and sizes of each service line relayed. Such payment shall also include trench excavation protection, hauling and disposition of surplus excavated materials, initial and secondary backfill, flowable fill, sand backfill, cutting pavement and surface structures of all type encountered and replacement with all type specified, and tubing and fittings of the various sizes used in the service line relay. B. Connection of service to the existing meter and adjustment of the meter box. 2 Payment for relay long service will be made at the unit of the various types and sizes of each service line relayed. Such payment shall also include trench excavation protection, hauling and disposition of surplus excavated materials, initial and secondary backfill, flowable fill, sand backfill, cutting pavement and surface structures of all type encountered and replacement with all type specified, and tubing and fittings of the various sizes used in the service line relay. B. Connection of service to the existing meter and adjustment of the meter box.